Hello there. Welcome to 10-Year Plan in 10 Minutes. This is one of my all-time favorite tools that I have adapted and changed over the years to suit different clients and different situations and settings, and kind of tried to build an all-in-one tool. But essentially, what this is a brainstorming session for your next decade. And really giving you the bits and pieces that you will need in order to really think your way into and feel your way into what the next 10 years can look like for you. I've seen it attributed to a few different people, so I'm not actually sure who said it, but there's a saying that people will underestimate what they can do in 10 years and overestimate what they can do in a year. And so this is your call to really dream big. I'm going to run you through the tool, and it's going to take us less than 10 minutes, but it will ideally take you about 10 minutes in your first go around using the tool. So essentially, what you're going to do is take the template that I've provided you with, and you can see in the middle, we're just going to talk about the middle section. You can see well-being, relationships, career or contribution, we'll skip the middle, community, finances, and hobbies. So those are sort of six primary areas or general areas of our life, if we wanted to kind of silo them. Six areas to consider and think about very generally when you're planning. In the middle, in the circle in the middle, we have some elements: be, do, have, give, feel, learn, and earn. And they relate to those six primary areas, but they are more focus areas. So they're more kind of internal states, and they're prompters that you can, or questions, prompters that you can ask as you're going through the brainstorming process. And that, I want to really reiterate, that is what this is. This is a brainstorming process that you can then convert into strategy or deeper plans or an implementation plan or vision boards or whatever it is, whatever other tools you use, that to put it in motion, you come to next. This is the antidote to the blank piece of paper that terrifies most people. They don't know where to start. When we're presented with a blank piece of paper and now you've got to come up with your 10-year plan, most people don't know where to start. So that's what this is, the antidote to that. So we know what we're focusing on. That the middle bit is to give us prompters when we've got nothing more or think we've got nothing more to add to our sections. The next thing that you're going to do in becoming prepared for the planning session is you're going to write your age and the age of your significant others. So that could be children, partner, parents, grandparents if you still have them, could be grandchildren if you have them, could be pets, etc. So you don't have to put everybody, but maybe two or three key people of significance in your life and what age they will be at each of those. So 10 years' time from 2023 will be 2033. So how old will you be in 2033? How old will they be? How old will they be in 5 years? How old will they be in 3 years? How old will they be in 1 year? And you. The reason that we do this is that it contextualizes the decade. It usually shocks and sometimes frightens people into realizing that they're going to age, and more importantly, that the people around them are going to age. It may mean that children have left home. It may mean that parents have died. It may mean that you may be getting closer to the possibility of not being around anymore. It may be that your children may be having grandchildren, but whereas at the moment they're still only quite young. So it's contextualization of time, which is really, really important when it comes for us to play with time. So that's why we do it. So we get everybody's ages in, just write it next to the 10 years, the 5 years, the 1 year, and the 3 year. You don't want to take up too much of the white space. Okay. Then the next step is super simple. You are literally going to get your phone or a timer, an egg timer or a watch or a clock. You're going to put 2 minutes on the clock. And you are going to then go to the 10-year section. You're going to use the context you've provided for the ages and the questions that arise by looking at the middle, and you're going to brainstorm. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? What do you want to be giving, feeling, learning, earning in those 6 primary areas? So you might not fill them all out. You don't have to do this as a specified list. They're there as prompters, although you could. So you could, for example, look at, what does well-being mean to you? Who do you want to be in a well-being state? What will you be doing in a well-being state? What would you be? Let's go to finances. What would you be earning if your finances well? What would you be giving if your finances in 10 years' time? So 10 years' time is aspirational. 10 years' time is the directionality of our life. This is the 10 years almost provides the bookend, the trajectory for us to then be working backwards from. So you really want to dream big in a decade. You can get a lot done in a decade. Cultures rise and fall in a decade. So dream big. And then once your 2 minutes are up, you're going to set the timer again, and you're now going to move to your 5 years. You're going to use what you created in the 10 years as a guide to help you build out the 5 years. You're essentially reverse engineering. Then you're going to set and do a 2 minute timer on that one. Then you're going to go to the 3 years. You're going to set a 2 minute timer. You're going to use the 5 years as the guide for your 3 years. And then you're going to do the same for 1 year. You're going to set a 2 minute timer. You're going to brainstorm it. And you'll see that's only 8 minutes, but we allow for a couple of minutes for the ages and, faffing around getting timers set up, how you can very easily build yourself a very simple 10-year plan. What you then want to do is take the 1 year and the 3 years potentially and build that into a strategy or into an implementation plan or into whatever tool you like to use that is going to help you get take the necessary steps forward in order that you are able to achieve the goals that you've identified in those 1 and 3 years that are obviously coming reverse engineered from your decade. So the more steps you take in year 1, the more likely you are to achieve your year 10 dreams. So that's your 10-year plan in 10 minutes. I would love to hear how it goes for you. I would love to hear what your enthusiasm and your excitement is for what's going to unfold for you in the next 10 years. And of course, this is always changeable. So maybe this is a structure, maybe this is a strategy or a tactic that you use every 6 months. You check back in with what you've already got. You update in a new document. That then becomes your guiding light principle. This is a very iterative process. Don't think you're fixed and solid just because you put it on this piece of paper. You can always get a new piece of paper. But you will fail if you don't go through these sorts of processes in order to, progress your life. You'll look back and think, what did I achieve in that decade? Is my life any different? Am I any happier? Am I any better? Are the people around me better off? Am I creating, into the world? We want you to look back over a decade and think, wow, how amazing my life is, thriving, healing, and evolving, and I'm blooming where I am. Enjoy.